Debbie Wasserman Schultz here today. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Debbie to all of you, and we'll eventually hear from our candidates that are going to be endorsed today, and then we'll take questions at the end of the press conference. So please welcome Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Thank you, Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Nancy, it's great to be here with you in Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. Not my first rodeo. I've been through Pittsburgh many times, you know, as the chair of the Democratic Party and as a member of Congress, as a matter of fact. I came here a number of years ago to be the keynote speaker of a really important luncheon celebrating and honoring breast cancer survivors during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm a survivor myself, so it's got a special place in my heart, and it's great to be back, and we have a lot of wonderful friends here with us. I really was so excited to watch the progress of the candidates that we're here to celebrate today. I'm proud to support Christine Donahue, Kevin Doherty, and David Weck, all judges for elevation to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. Christine has litigated and presided over landmark cases that protected the rights of injured persons, held corporations accountable for fraudulent behavior, and eliminated bias against LGBT parents in custody matters. And that's just to name a few. Kevin comes from a working-class South Philadelphia family and has built his career fighting for Pennsylvanians. He's implemented many significant reforms to the juvenile justice system and helped the children and youth who came before him receive the services they needed to turn their lives around and become productive citizens. David has made a career out of standing up for families, protecting victims of domestic violence, and helping juvenile offenders get back on their feet. He's fighting for an absolute ban on all gifts to judges, transparency in court proceedings, and stronger ethics requirements for Pennsylvania's judicial candidates. All three of these individuals have demonstrated the temperament and judgment that voters should be looking for in selecting justices for their state Supreme Court. But the people of Pennsylvania should understand just how important this election is for ensuring that they continue to have their voices heard in future elections, because that is not always a certainty. In 2014, the court examined the constitutionality of the state's voter ID bill that was backed by the Republican state legislature and then governor. Many of us in Washington remember this bill as the one that led the Republican House leader to admit that the bill was designed intentionally to help Mitt Romney win Pennsylvania in 2012. We saw how that worked out. Now, the court did not concern itself with politics, but rather looked at the law. And when the court struck down that voter ID bill, it ruled that it imposed an unreasonable burden on the right to vote and denied the voters of Pennsylvania the right to a free and fair election. And even though Pennsylvania is traditionally a blue state, Republicans have a 13-5 advantage in the state's congressional delegation. Republicans controlled the redistricting process last time around, and the result is an unfair and imbalanced map like the one we see right now. I know a little bit about that because we've gone through that in Florida as well. The state Supreme Court actually threw out the first map in 2012. These cases are important reminders that judges matter and judicial elections matter. Pennsylvania's Supreme Court has played and will continue to play a critical role in protecting our democracy and ensuring that people throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania are able to enjoy and expect free and fair elections. It's important that voters are able to select Supreme Court justices who will protect the rights and interests of those voters. Now, I'm also here today to support Heather Arnett for the Pennsylvania State Senate. I know that if elected, Heather will fight for women and their families, because that's exactly what she's done throughout her career. She served for 12 years as the CEO for the Women and Girls Foundation, an organization dedicated to promoting social change by confronting social inequities and raising awareness of those inequities. She's also the board chair of the Ms. Foundation, another organization focused on empowering women and creating equality. And, like me, she's a mom of younger kids. Now, I'm definitely biased, but I think we need more moms in office. We would get a heck of a lot more done if there were more moms in office. You have only to look at the chaos that is going on in Washington right now, and with the Republican legislature in Harrisburg as well, to see that perhaps a little estrogen would go a long way. So, in part because moms know how to juggle it all. We balance so much at once, and as we saw at our presidential debate the other night, the priorities of women who try to balance it all are the priorities of the Democratic Party: equal pay, paid family leave, access to quality child care, affordable health care, and greater opportunities to pursue an education. And those aren't just women's issues. Those are family issues and economic issues. And Heather is exactly the kind of candidate who can shake up Harrisburg, and that's why we need her to win. That's why I came all the way here to support these candidates. Following the 2014 election, Democrats made clear that we needed to do a better job of winning races up and down the ballot, particularly in non-presidential election years like this one. And I'm here today because the Democratic Party is committed to doing just that, starting with electing these candidates right here on November 3rd. So thank you very much, and now let me turn it over to Judge Weck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.